The ancient Egyptians were a fascinating race, with mysterious mummies to worshipping cats. After all these years, we are still unearthing hidden secrets about this culture today. In ancient Egypt, animals were very important and quite often worshipped, the most highly respected of them all being the cat. The ancient Egyptians believed that animals were incarnations of the god, so it was popular to keep animals as pets. The most popular being cats, but also dogs, hawks, lions and baboons were kept at home. If you were caught killing or injuring a cat in ancient Egypt, penalties were high, usually resulting in death. Also, there was a goddess just for cats. The goddess Bastet was the representation of this love for cats, and she was depicted as half cat, half woman. In ancient Egypt, they believed that there was an afterlife and that the only way of reaching it safely was to follow a strict set of procedures to prepare a dead body. The process took around 70 days. When a body was being prepared for mummification, firstly, the organs would have to be removed and placed into canopic jars. The next stage was to remove all moisture from the body. To do this, they covered the body in a powdered type of salt and let it rest for around 35–40 days, or until all the moisture was gone. After cleaning all the remaining salt off, the body would have been stuffed with linen to plump it up again, and then it was ready for wrapping. The wrapping process could take up to 2 weeks to complete, and the family of the deceased was expected to gather around 370 square meters of linen to wrap the body. Once this was complete, the mummy was put into its coffin and then taken to a tomb where it would rest. Canopic jars were used to store the organs of the dead. Canopic jars were used to place the organs of a body that was being mummified. An organ was placed in each as a sign of respect to Horus, the god of the sky. The ancient Egyptians believed that it would ensure that the dead would safely reach the afterlife. There were 4 jars. Each was named and represented one of Horus's sons, and each was decorated to identify which organs should go where. The first jar was called Imsidi, which had a human head carved into the lid. This jar was used for the liver. The second jar was called Kebeth Zanuf, which had a falcon's head carved on it, and it carried the intestines of the deceased. The third jar, Hapi, depicted the head of a baboon and was used to store the lungs. The fourth canopic jar, Duamuth, had the head of a jackal and was used to carry the stomach. In ancient Egypt, both men and women wore makeup, as they believed it gave them the protection of the gods Horus and Ra. To produce the makeup, they would grind up or elements such as malachite into a paste, and then using tools made from bone or wood, they would apply it around their eyes, much like us using eyeliner today. They believed that wearing makeup would give them powers. In ancient Egypt, women had similar rights to men, making them stand out from other communities around the world at the time. Women were allowed to own property, and in court, women were legally equal to men.